Tell me, why did the entire room freeze the moment you walked in, before you even breathed? You don't even understand the scope of what you've become, do you? You walk through life like a glitch wearing skin, and everyone else is just now realizing the threat level of that. They thought you were some quiet anomaly, a harmless shadow, a stray variable the world forgot to track. And then, 8 seconds, that's all it took. 8 seconds. Somebody pressed play on a clip of you, and even Putin leaned forward like he'd seen a ghost climb out of the Kremlin walls. He didn't blink, didn't smirk, didn't joke. He just muttered it under his breath. We don't have a response for this kind of monster. And you know what's funny? You weren't even trying. That wasn't your final form, your apex, your unleashed version. That wasn't even your awakening. That was you at 1%, bored, half present, not even warmed up. Imagine that. A world leader. A man who stares down nuclear arsenals like they're chess pieces, reduced to quiet panic by the sight of you just existing. Oh, darling. They don't understand you yet. They don't understand what happens to a person who's been broken, buried, betrayed, and still came back laughing. They don't understand the alchemy that takes place when someone survives hell without becoming a victim, but also refuses to become the villain. You're both, and neither. A saint wearing a demon's grin, a psychopath with a surgeon's precision, an angel with ashes on your wings, a monster with a moral code sharper than a guillotine. That duality, that's what terrifies them the most. Because how do you counter something that can't be predicted? How do you prepare for someone who doesn't follow the script? How do you control a being who already walked through their worst-case scenario and didn't flinch? You're not powerful because you're loud. No, you're powerful because you speak in silences that choke entire rooms. You make people rethink their childhoods with one stare. You force grown adults to delete whole group chats because your name got mentioned once. And the funniest part? You weren't trained for any of this. No one built you. No secret agency engineered you. Life tried to erase you and ended up sharpening you. Every scar became a circuit. Every wound became a frequency. Every betrayal became a cold, calculated upgrade. You turned trauma into combustion, pain into prophecy, loneliness into literacy for reading human souls like they're glass. You know what you are now? A walking contradiction wrapped in human cloth. Too calm to be normal. Too aware to be naive. Too dangerous to be ignored. And that's why the world is acting weird around you. The analysts can't categorize you. The psychologists can't diagnose you. The manipulators can't play you. The liars can't lie to you. Even the elites, the ones who think they've seen every type of threat, stare at you like you're a myth someone accidentally brought to life. Because you're no longer reacting, you're observing, choosing, calculating, building, awakening. You became the kind of presence that doesn't announce itself. It distorts the room. And now, every set of eyes that lands on you has the same terrified question. What happens when this one finally decides to unleash everything? Oh, but you already know the answer, don't you? You feel it humming under your ribs. You feel the voltage in your spine. You feel the cold, precise clarity that comes only after surviving a war no one knew you were fighting. You're not becoming a monster. You're becoming the balance to a world full of predators. The storm that doesn't need thunder to be feared. The reckoning that doesn't show up. It materializes. The consequence they prayed would never wake up. And trust me, when the next 8 seconds of you hit the world, it won't just be Putin whispering that they have no response. It'll be every leader, every watcher, every enemy, every doubter, every ghost from your past. Terrified, stunned, helpless, speechless, because they all thought they were dealing with a person, until they realized they were dealing with a phenomenon. Keep breathing. Your evolution is only getting started. And the world, it's nowhere near ready. You ever notice how people look at you now? Not the regular ones. They're clueless, harmless, background noise. I'm talking about the ones who've seen things, the ones with heavy eyes and heavier secrets, the ones who measure threat the way normal people measure temperature. They see you, and something ancient in them winces, like a buried instinct finally woke up and whispered, "Predator." And they're right, but not the fangs out, roaring type of predator. No, that's too simple, too noisy, too mortal. You're the kind that stalks time itself, the kind that rewrites momentum, the kind that shifts probability with a single decision. It's why people hesitate before speaking to you. It's why conversations die mid-sentence when you look up. It's why entire rooms reset their posture the moment they sense your energy. You're no longer participating in reality. You're bending it. And that's what terrifies them. The elites, the analysts, the strategists, the liars, the power brokers, they all sat down, ran simulations, measured variables, charted patterns, and every single line pointed to the same conclusion. You don't follow the rules of human behavior anymore. One moment you're serene, too calm for someone who's been through that much hell. The next, your silence cuts through the air like a blade dipped in prophecy. They don't understand how you survived what should have broken you. They don't understand how you healed wounds no one could see. They don't understand how you rebuilt yourself without permission, without guidance, without witnesses. You healed in the dark. You evolved in the dark. You sharpened in the dark. And darkness answers to you now. Let's go back to that infamous 8 seconds, because that wasn't just a moment. It was a diagnosis. When Putin watched you, eyes narrowed, breath held. He wasn't looking at a person. He was trying to identify a category that didn't exist yet. You sent a shiver through a man who negotiates with nuclear fire like it's pocket change. And do you know why? Because even he could feel it. That unexplainable, impossible, terrifying truth humming under your skin. You've crossed the line where people stop being individuals and start becoming events, phenomena, anomalies, variables that warp every equation. You're the kind of force they prepare countermeasures for, except none of theirs work. Not manipulation, not intimidation, not silence, not mockery, not exclusion, not war. You slip through those tactics like smoke through fingers. Your unpredictability isn't chaos, it's precision. Your silence isn't passivity, it's strategy. Your detachment isn't coldness, it's clarity. You don't move impulsively, you move intentionally. And intentional people, they rewrite destinies with one gesture. Do you understand the level you're operating on? Let me spell it out. When someone with global influence watches you and whispers that they have no response, that means you've evolved beyond threat level. You've become undefinable, and undefinable things, they terrify even the powerful, because you represent a something the world can't categorize, a human who refused to die emotionally, a soul that refused to turn bitter, a mind that refused to surrender, a heart that refused to stay broken. You didn't just heal, you translated your suffering into fluency. You speak pain like a dialect. You speak betrayal like mathematics. You speak human behavior like it's written in Braille on your palms. That's why you see through people instantly. That's why their tricks don't work. That's why their tone shifts around you. That's why the air gets tighter when you walk in. They feel dissected, measured, exposed, not because you try, but because your existence is a mirror they can't bear to look into. Listen, there are monsters made by the world, and monsters born from something older. But then, very rarely, something else appears, something that went through hell and came back with memory. Not scars, not trauma, memory. Memory of who they were before the world tried to break them, memory of their core, memory of their potential, memory of their original, unfiltered, uncorrupted blueprint. That's you, a restored anomaly, a self-resurrected threat. The answer to every question they never wanted asked. You've become the walking proof that pain refines, silence sharpens, solitude awakens, and betrayal educates. You're not a monster, you're the test for monsters, the reckoning disguised as a human heartbeat, the correction to an ecosystem that thought it could devour you. And now, every empire, every enemy, every rival, every manipulator, every jealous watcher, they all sense the same inevitable truth. The world doesn't have a response for you, because there is no response. Keep going. You haven't even started the part where they beg. There's something you don't fully see about yourself yet, something everyone else noticed before you did, something that crawls under their skin the moment you step into the room. Not your confidence, not your silence, not your unpredictability. It's the aftershock, that strange, unnerving echo you leave behind wherever you go. Like the air hasn't caught up to the fact that you left. People walk around different after encountering you. Some get quieter, some get defensive, some get inspired against their will, some get terrified without understanding why. But nobody stays the same. You distort the emotional gravity of a place. You bend the psychological weather. You tilt the entire atmosphere. That's why leaders can sense you before they even see you. That's why strangers look at you too long. That's why some people avoid you like a truth they're not ready for. There's a rumor, it started as a joke, that people feel like they're being evaluated by God when you stare at them too long. But it's not divinity, it's clarity. You see people so cleanly that they can't hide behind their character anymore. You strip them down to intention, to motive, to truth. And truth terrifies the impure. Now imagine someone like Putin, someone who's built his entire life on reading threat, reading weakness, reading the unseen, being confronted with you, a creature who isn't driven by ego or revenge or ambition, but by something far more dangerous, awareness. Because you don't react, you recognize, you don't panic, you predict, you don't attack, you observe for far too long. Long enough to understand, long enough to choose your moment, long enough to make your silence feel like a loaded gun. Do you know how rare that is? Most people want control. You want understanding. You want the blueprint behind the lie, the pattern behind the chaos, the truth behind the mask. And do you know what people like Putin fear the most? Not rebels, not warriors, not geniuses, not madmen. They fear the ones who can't be calculated, the ones who don't fit the models, the ones who don't panic when cornered, the ones who smile in the dark, the ones who walk with a calm they didn't earn from privilege, but from surviving things that would shatter the average mind. You have that calm, that I've died before, try again, calm, that I've been destroyed and resurrected, calm, that your threat means nothing because I've already seen hell, calm. That's why they can't respond to you. Not because you're a monster, but because you're a finished product of pain. And nothing scares the world more than a person pain could not break. Let me tell you something they would never say out loud. You are the scar they tried to avoid creating. Because the world wanted you humble, wanted you doubtful, wanted you insecure, wanted you small, wanted you apologizing for taking up space. But you didn't shatter the way they hoped. You didn't soften. You didn't crumble. You crystallized. You sharpened. You became a weapon forged in emotional fire. And now, you're too sharp for their hands. That's why they whisper behind doors. That's why they study you like a black swan event. That's why they try to predict your next move. That's why they fear your silence. That's why they speak your name, like it's restricted intel. There's a piece of you that scares people more than anything you say or do. Your potential. Because they've only seen what you look like holding back. They've only seen what you look like restrained. They've only seen what you look like uninterested. And even that was enough to rattle someone who stares down nations. They know. And deep down, so do you, that if you ever decide to unleash the full version of yourself, it won't be a rise, it won't be a comeback, it won't be a breakthrough. It'll be an eruption, a psychological detonation, a shift in the social ecosystem, a collapse of old dynamics, a birth of a new order where you're no longer a participant, but the gravitational center. And here's the part that freezes even the most powerful. You don't want their crown, you don't want their throne, you don't want their validation, you don't want their empire. You want your own realm, your own code, your own direction, your own myth. Someone like you, someone who has walked into darkness and came back with insight instead of insanity. That is the type of being history writes about when it's scared. So keep moving. Your evolution is hitting a frequency they can't jam. Your mind is reaching a clarity they can't cloud. Your presence is becoming a force they can't prepare countermeasures for. And when the next 8 seconds of you hit the world, it won't be a whisper this time. It'll be a headline, a warning, a prophecy. Because the truth is simple, and every powerful person secretly knows it. They don't have a response for you, because you're the response. Keep going. You haven't even shown your shadow yet. They've been trying to figure out why you disturb them so much, and they can't explain it without admitting a truth they're terrified to speak. You're not reacting to the world anymore. The world is reacting to you. Every move you make sends a ripple into people who swore they were unshakable. Every silence you hold rewires someone's nervous system. Every time your name surfaces in a conversation, someone's breath hitches, someone's voice drops. Someone pretends they're not affected. They're not afraid of what you've done. They're afraid of what you could do. Because there's something in you that doesn't match any human template they've studied. A stillness that isn't empty. A confidence that isn't loud. A darkness that isn't broken. Most people carry scars like chains. You carry yours like blueprints. You rebuilt yourself with such disturbing precision that the final result doesn't resemble the version they thought they destroyed. And that's why even the powerful don't have a response for you. How do you counter someone who's already been through their worst nightmare and came out with better vision? How do you intimidate someone who survived psychological death and returned with a steadier heartbeat? How do you threaten someone who learned to weaponize silence? That's why they hesitate around you. It's not respect. It's not admiration. It's not envy. It's recognition. Recognition that your existence is a failure in their system, a glitch they didn't anticipate, a variable they can't control, a truth they can't suppress. They wanted you docile. They wanted you small. They wanted you manageable, predictable. containable. Instead, you became the exact kind of anomaly that institutions whisper about in crisis rooms. You became the kind of presence that makes strategists rewrite entire protocols. You became the kind of soul that makes manipulators retire early. And what they hate, what they fear, what they can't process, is that you didn't need an army or a spotlight or a crown or a throne or a weapon to reach this level. You just needed truth. The truth of who you are. The truth of what you survived. The truth of what you refused to become. And that truth, it radiates off you like something radioactive. It leaks into the room, it sticks to the walls, it wraps around the people who underestimated you until they can't breathe right. Because for the first time in their lives, they're looking at someone they cannot decipher, someone whose wounds didn't deform them, someone whose past didn't corrupt them, someone whose monsters didn't consume them. They educated them. That makes you unmanageable. That makes you unpredictable. That makes you the exact kind of threat that makes even powerful people watch an 8-second clip and whisper that they have no response. And here's the part that suffocates them. You're still holding back. This is still your restrained version, your folded wings, your muted fire, your half-awake potential. If this is what you look like at 10%, they know the full version of you wouldn't just disrupt the world. It would rearrange it. You're not here to play their game. You're here to expose it, rewrite it, outgrow it, render it obsolete. And whether they admit it or not, they've already felt the shift. You're becoming the kind of presence that doesn't take power. Power reorganizes itself around you. Keep going. You haven't even stepped into your final frequency yet. There you are. Don't move. Don't blink. Just listen. You feel that, don't you? That quiet pressure crawling behind your eyes. Like something has already read you, already decided what you are, before you even finished becoming it. Yeah, that's because they did. 33 degrees of shadow, not just watching, dissecting, not just observing, decoding. Every hesitation, every late-night spiral, every moment you almost broke but didn't. Cataloged, logged, cross-referenced. They didn't study your success. They studied your fractures, because that's where the truth leaks out. You thought you were hiding, didn't you? Thought those contradictions inside you were chaos, random, meaningless. But no. Those weren't mistakes. Those were patterns. Patterns so rare, so violently unpredictable, that they couldn't ignore you anymore. And that's when you got marked, not for what you've done, but for what you're capable of becoming. See, normal people are easy, predictable,